Welcome. In this video, we will discuss about the one of the major announcement made by the Pradhan Mantri on the 74th Independence Day in his speech from Red Fort. So, apart from the National Digital Health Mission, he announced two other important policies for the digital India. He announced a new cyber security policy and also the policy on optical fiber, which will be like providing connectivity to the villages of India. So these are the three major policy in terms of the digital India which he announced on the 74th Independence Day from the Red Fort. In this video, we will discuss mainly on National Digital Health Mission. Now let's try to understand what are the details, what all will come into it and how this thing come into being. So first thing that we have to know is this is a complete health ecosystem. So this particular NDHM National Digital Health Mission envisioned to have a complete digital health ecosystem. It will have features like your health ID, it will have your personal health records, it will has Digi doctors, as well as it will also has the facility for registry. So these are the four basic measures which would be provided, which are included in the NDHM. Now these things go beyond, and at later stage there is a provision that e-pharmacy as well as telemedicine services will also be added. So the e-pharmacy, where the medicine could be provided through the internet portal or through the e-commerce websites, not the commerce, it will be like your e-pharmacy websites, and then telemedicine, where the doctors could like teach about or could know the symptoms of the patient through the means of digital platforms only. So these are the few basic details which has come into picture. Now apart from that, the very important thing that you have to remember is that the implementing agency would be your National Health Authority. Now National Health Authority is also an implementing agency for Ayushman Bharat. Ayushman Bharat, which is an insurance scheme to be provided for the family of below poverty line people, is a very important scheme to provide the health coverage to the vulnerable and poor section. It is also implemented by National Health Authority. This National Health Authority is under the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare. And also the thing that you have to remember, National Digital Health Mission will also be implemented by the same agency. Now another thing that you should know is that it will be in the form of app and website. So you will be getting an app for it on your like Android phone or your iOS phone. There will be an app which you can download and utilize it for health ID or Digi doctor or your personal records, health personal record. And also it will be available in the form of your website, where you could like go to any internet browser and could like hit the website and get all the details. So these are the major components of this particular scheme. Now let's move forward and try to understand what this Digi Doctor and Health IDs are all about. So first thing and foremost thing that you have to know, that both of these, Digi Doctor as well as Health ID, would be a voluntary thing. So like the information that would be needed for the DigiDoctor information as well as for the health ID is voluntary, and this is one of the major component which comes in, like how the right to privacy is important in the era of your more and more people getting in online. So this particular thing is like consent part of the like the whole process is very important, and even the information to be provided under DigiDoctor or Health ID would be voluntary in nature. Now let's try to understand what DigiDoctor option will all be having. So it will allow doctors across the country to enroll, and their detail including their contact number if they want to provide them will be available. So it's like every doctor or any doctor across country could register themselves on this platform, and they could also provide their contact number, and it is a voluntary exercise, which means if they are willing to provide their contact number, they could like fill in the details. Now apart from that, it will also having the assigned digital signature for free. So in the present world of digital world, we need digital signature so that we can authorize. So if you have seen any PDF which has been e-copy of various people which are being given these days, you will see the e-signature. Now generally creating e-signature requires some kind of fees to be paid to the Ministry of Corporate Affairs, but here what they have decided that you can go ahead and have your own digital signature for free for doctors who will be registering under the DigiDoc. Why it is done? So that the prescription that they are providing could be authenticated. So that is one of the major reason because of which the digital signature would be provided. And as mentioned earlier, it is a voluntary exercise for a doctor as well as for hospital if they are willing to share the information. Now coming for the national health ID, what the health ID would be all about. So basically if you have worked in any company, if you know, or if you have been into college, you have an ID. All your information related to yourself with association to that institution is feeded against that ID itself. So similarly in your health ID, all your medical record will be like logged in, and you will be getting the access to everything about you related to health using your health ID. So that is one of the thing. It will be a repository of all health related information of every Indian who is signing to have health ID. Now every patient who wishes to have their health record available digitally must have a unique health ID. So now this is again a voluntary process in which this, if the patient is willing to have their information available online, they could have a unique ID. And how this unique ID could be generated? It could be either through the mobile phone or Aadhaar number. So you could even like attach it with your mobile number, or it could be attached to your Aadhaar number, and you could generate a unique health ID corresponding to which all your health records would be available. Now this particular thing will be applicable across state, hospitals, diagnostic laboratories and pharmacies. So not just the hospitals or the clinics, but even the laboratories and pharmacies will also have access to your health ID. So for an example, if you are going to buy some medication from a chemist, you just have to give your health ID and he will have your records and what the doctor has prescribed for you, and he could directly give it to you. So these kind of integrated management, the whole ecosystem of health could be created under the National Digital Health Mission. Now let's also try to see how this picture come into being. What are all the components which happened like almost 3 years back, which is now being compounded and become the National Digital Health Mission. So first and foremost, National Health Policy of 2017 actually provided for a creation of digital health technology ecosystem. So back in the 2017, the health policy itself came up with the idea to have a digital health ecosystem. So that was one of the major aim or component in the national health policy of 2017. So it will be then in 2018, Niti Aayog, which is the think tank, came up with the idea of National Health Stack. So it is came up with the idea that for having a national digital health ecosystem, we need to have something called as National Health Stack. Now, what is National Health Stack is? It was a digital infrastructure built with the aim of making health insurance system more transparent and robust, while factoring in the uniqueness of India's health sector and political realities of federalism. So, National Health Stack was primarily focusing on the insurance system, how the insurance system could be made more transparent and robust so that the frequency of claims which get dismissed by the hospitals or the insurance company could be decreased and the citizen could avail the benefit. They also try to factor in the uniqueness of Indian health structure and the federal nature of the whole system. So as a matter of fact, for implementing any health facility, it is important that the state government also pour in their resources. So because of it, it is important from that regard. Now, a committee headed by the former UADI, who like the authority which created Aadhaar, they released a National Digital Health Blueprint in July 2019. So last year, National Digital Health Blueprint came into the picture, and there was a lot of controversy regarding the privacy, regarding the consent information, and for that matter, this particular National Digital Health Mission do make consent an important component of the whole process. So yeah, that's there. And finally, what this National Digital Health Blueprint recognized that National Digital Health Mission need need to be created, which is like a specialized organization which will have some very focused and specific tasks to be completed to be able to create the whole ecosystem. So these are the basic details which were provided by the National Digital Health Mission, the background, and how this particular thing is going to help India become more prominent in terms of its health sector. Now, the present pandemic has put the focus on the healthcare sector of the economy throughout the world, and for having a more robust, more integrated, and more citizen centric healthcare sector, it is important that we move towards the digital mediums as the world is moving towards more and more digital platforms. So I hope you have understood this video. If you have any doubt, feel free to comment in the section of the comment of YouTube. Thank you.